Hello, everyone. Well, after such a brutally hot day in Iowa yesterday, the good news today is it's definitely going to be better, but not cool weather today. Take a look at our high temperatures. So we're not talking about temperatures any cooler than normal for this time of year, and there's still going to be a lot of spots that are above normal for this time of year. So no cooler than the mid 80s. Lots of us still reaching the upper 80s or low 90s, and maybe in the southwestern part of the state, a couple spots still reaching the mid 90s. And the other thing is, though it's not very humid like yesterday, still humid. So we still have to talk about the feels like temperatures. Yeah, so we have to add some extra degrees to our temperature. So notice how most of us are going to see feels like temperatures in the mid, low 90s, maybe in the southwestern part of the state, upper 90s. Now, definitely better than yesterday. At least we're not seeing feels like temperatures around 110, but yeah, still going to be hot this afternoon. One thing that will help, like yesterday, still going to be wind around in the central and western part of the state. We'll call it breezy with gusts 20, 25 miles per hour. But for the eastern part of the state, I will call it windy. Early this afternoon, right behind that cold front, looks like we'll get some gusts around 30 miles per hour, including around the Quad Cities. Because the cold front is still on the move, still in the state early this morning. So where is it? At 8 a.m., right in between Waterloo and Cedar Rapids, that leading edge. And then there's going to be continued activity behind it. We're just going to have to keep a close eye on the front and that activity along its leading edge as it finishes up working over the eastern part of the state late this morning. There is a small window of opportunity where we could still see a couple of severe storms. The chance is definitely small, but not quite zero. So the most likely time for seeing possibly a severe storm would be about 10 a.m. or so for the Quad Cities. Do want to stress that the chance is low. Most likely it's just going to be heavy rain and lightning, but technically not quite a zero chance. But this is a very small window of opportunity. By the time we get to noon, the chance for severe storms over with because the leading edge of the front clear of us, and then it's just going to be that lingering activity on the backside. So I still have to keep a good chance of rain in for eastern Iowa around lunchtime. We're still talking about scattered showers and storms, but notice as you go to the west, for central Iowa, at this point, just isolated activity. And I think the rain chance already over with for the northwestern part of the state, including around the Sioux City area by the time we get to noon. Now, the good chance of rain, I think, for eastern Iowa will come to an end about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Notice at this point, mainly across the southeastern half of the state, we're just talking about isolated showers and storms. But we've got to keep the chance for isolated activity going through the evening hours. Why? Because we're going to get a secondary cold front to work in. See this little line, very broken line of activity, 6 o'clock this afternoon. Doesn't look like it's going to happen for the northwestern part of the state, but for central and on to the southeast, I do have to keep the chance for isolated activity going, though I will say it's going to be becoming less and less from late afternoon as we go through the evening hours. Significant gaps. It is more likely you will be staying dry during this period than seeing rain, but definitely got to keep the chance in there. Even at 9 o'clock, notice 1 or 2 showers or storms still around. But by the time we get to midnight, that is finally it with the rain chance for the entire state. So for that severe threat, from roughly 9 a.m. this morning until noon, notice it is limited to the far southeastern part of the state. Places like Keokuk, Burlington, Davenport, Moline, Muscatine. You do have a chance, but notice you are just barely included in this severe threat. We definitely think the greater risk is over in Illinois. Most likely, during the late morning hours, all you're going to see some heavy rain and lightning. But we're going to keep in a small chance. And in a couple spots, we could see those wind gusts get up to 50 miles per hour and perhaps see some dime-sized hail.